Hello guys, and welcome to
Colombia!
We are in a marina in Santa Marta Marina, and
yeah, there's not very many places you can anchor in Colombia near cities, and so we had to pull into a marina. But the marinas here are pretty cheap, so it's not too bad to stay here for a couple of weeks, actually.
And it's good to be able to, there's a fly that keeps bugging me. It's good to be able to have a hot shower and laundry and air conditioning
and
Wi-Fi.
Such fast Wi-Fi.
On the boat.
It took 10 minutes to upload our last video here.
Yeah, it's
so
amazing.
Crazy.
And checking in Colombia in general has a reputation. So,
everyone seems to have a different opinion about how hard it is, how expensive it is. Normally when you come to Colombia, you have to hire an agent, and he takes care of all the paperwork for you. But if you stay at a marina, especially this one here in Santa Marta, they have an agent, and they kind of roll the fee of the agent into the marina fees, which is actually pretty nice. It saves you maybe $100 or so.
Yeah. Today we are going to explore the beautiful town of Santa Marta. So, let's go!
Let's go!
Let's go!
Gracias.
Muchas gracias, señor. How's your coffee?
Oh, it's very yummy. It's very milky.
This was 15 cents coffee on the street.
Change it.
If you remember in our last step, we got knocked down. The water found its way to the GPS antenna connection and caused the chart plotter to stop working. So then soldered it back together as a test, but turns out there was more to the problem.
Alright, well, I plugged our GPS antenna into a fellow cruiser's boat, and it read on their NEMA bus, which means the antenna is good, which means the problem is somewhere in our chart plotter. So I've pulled it out, and I can already smell there's kind of like a melted plastic smell in there, which makes me a little bit nervous. Yep. Look at that. Right there. This is the NEMA connection that goes to the GPS antenna. And it's got the two data cables, the green is the ground, and then the red and black are power cables. And whatever this guy is fried. Theoretically that's replaceable or fixable, maybe. But whatever that is got pretty hot.
Our repair mission led us deep into town, and every repair store either couldn't fix it or had directions to another store that also couldn't fix it.
Necesitas una pequeña parte, es eso.
En la otra, subiendo a mitad de cuadra, ve esta acera. De Molina.
But after a long search and a lot of asking around, we found a place.
That little diode is broken.
Ese es un diodo.
Sí, es un diodo. ¿Tú tienes?
¿Pero qué tipo de diodo será?
12 volts.
12 volts, see?
¿Esto es que algo de aviación o...?
3 amps.
Es un GPS, un aparato GPS.
Saw that.
¿Qué tal le va a poner? Sí, hoy
Done.
sí.
No sé si
No, para enseguida no puedo.
That was painless.
¿Cómo para cuándo?
Borrowed an old diode off of an old circuit board, soldered it on. Should be good to go. Took longer to find the store than it did to do the repair. But since I already jumped the diode, I knew that that was the only thing that was bad. So now that he replaced it, everything should be back up and running.
Yeah, we're gonna go back on the boat and test it out and see how it works.
$2 repair for a $3,000 chart plotter. Just our style.
Good deal.
Can you believe that this is a 40 gigabyte hard drive? This little micro SD card holds more data than this giant hard drive. That's like 10 years of technology difference. Yeah, I thought, crap. Alright. Position acquired. That was quick. Yes!
So it works.
Yeah. Pages. Status. Yeah. Those are all the satellites. Back up and running. Huh. That was awesome. There we are. There's our little slip in the marina. Cool. Well, since we have an electric motor and since we tore out the giant diesel motor that was in our boat, we finally got some plywood, which means we can turn this huge empty space into some usable storage space. That's today's project. It covers the batteries and the motor pretty well, but the front half is not screwed down, so it can slide back so we can water the batteries, and the motor is still accessible from the back. This isn't marine grade plywood, we just got it from the local hardware store, but with a little coat of epoxy or paint it'll probably last for a while, and now that all the pieces are cut and sort of made, it'll be easy to use them as templates if we ever get marine grade plywood. But since we're not fiberglassing any of it, it's not bulkheads, it's not being permanently bonded to the hull, it doesn't really matter if it's marine grade or not.
Pilot berth. Look at that.
But one of the reasons we got 2 sheets of plywood to do a small project like this is because we got enough to build compartments in the cockpit lockers, which was a long overdue project. On this last sail, a lot of this stuff on the port side went sliding underneath the cockpit and kind of ended up on the starboard side. So I built some dividers and partitions in the cockpit lockers so that everything can kind of stay put when we're underway. Well, now that we have this lovely floor in our old engine room, I cut a giant hole in our counter. Cool. So we can put a trash can underneath it. So this will be the new lid for our trash can hole. And then we'll be able to just like open it up, throw all our trash down, trash can under here. It's gonna be awesome.
So, funny story. That car that's leaving right now, that red
was so
car,
weird.
they were parked right in front of where we're doing an awesome time lapse. By the way, you can pin on the camera.
We're shooting the sunset.
Yeah, beautiful sunset.
Anyway,
so,
they came up behind us.
They came up behind us, and they're like, "What boat are you on?" And we're like, "Uma." He's like, "Ah, you're Uma. We've been looking for you all day." And then we thought they were people that watched our YouTube videos.
We're like, oh, they're fans. We're like, oh, cool.
Yeah,
you
we're like,
watch
oh,
the YouTube
cool.
videos.
And he's like, are you available? Like, when are you available? I was like, well, maybe tomorrow we'll be around. And he's like, yeah. And then I thought they were going to ask, if we can get lunch or something like that.
No,
and then
no.
they opened up a cardboard,
Like a folder like
full
a
of
file.
paperwork, and then they came out, and I didn't know what they were doing, and then they were like, so your name is Uma. They come with the paperwork. It's like, I need a picture of your serial number of the engine. I was like,
We're like,
oh, you're
customs. So it's like 6. It's like 6 o'clock at night, and we're just hanging out after everything's closed.
Yeah.
And the car parked behind us happened to be the customs car. We've been waiting to talk to them for like 4 days now. And the best part is, so I signed all the paperwork right here on like the trunk of his car. And then he's like, so can you email me the pictures of your hull identification number and your engine serial number? I'm like, yeah,
okay.
what's your email address?
And all and the name of the boat.
The name?
The
Okay,
name.
yeah, it's on the
Okay,
back too.
yeah.
At the back.
Yeah,
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
He gave me like his government email address. So he's not even gonna come on our boat. Customs isn't even coming on our
No.
boat. But he recognized us, I guess, by our passport photos because he has copies of our passport
Yeah.
photos. That was really weird.
That was really weird, but
Anyway.
okay. So
And roll time lapse.
And that is it for this episode. I really hope you enjoyed this small glimpse of Santa Marta. And make sure you give us a thumbs up. And don't forget to come back next week when we take a trip to the mountains and get to relax in the coolest and biggest hammock ever. Until then, cheers!